Welcome back, welcome back. I just seen some crazy shit, and want to talk about it a little bit. Ah, boy, this world is crazy. So, what I want to talk about today is something I never knew, but I kind of a little bit know because, you know, when you sit in the house most of your fucking life learning shit, you're gonna come across some type of information when it comes to a lot of things, but you may not actually know the furthest extent of how bad it actually gets. Now, what I'm talking about is veganism. Now, many people are told and shown how being a vegan is good for you, right? Now, I myself say, we're not supposed to eat all animals because the Lord said so. Now, when I first took that journey and trying to understand that and give up red meat, certain seafood and shit that the Lord says not to eat, I didn't really like that law. So I was like, like everybody else, like, I don't know. I don't know if the Lord would deny me of such tasty food, We use whatever trick we can to keep eating shit. So, as I began to want to understand why my father said, don't eat this stuff, I said, well, the only way I'm going to know why is if I learn about the things he said not to eat, and maybe, just maybe, the answer will be in there. So, I started looking up things. And when I looked up the animals he said not to eat, lo and behold, I found out they're scientifically, they tell us not to eat it. And they tell us exactly why, because it'll kill you. And that's when I said, wait up, you mean the Bible was before they figured that out, and then now they figured it out, and they even say don't eat these things. Be cautious. Eat at your own risk and all this stuff. But we don't look at it like them agreeing with the Bible and stuff. We look at it as man's better and can make it safe or whatever, right? So, on to the vegan thing. So I'm watching a literal 1 minute clip, right? And it's a guy on the Joe Rogan show. What up, Joe? You're making a comeback. Anyway, Joe Rogan show is kind of like interesting too. I haven't seen it in a long time, but you will always learn something on there. There's no way you can watch the Joe Rogan show and not learn something. It may not be the truth, but your ass still gonna learn something. Because he does like what I do. He talks about life. That's why I like watching guys like that. Sound the horns. See, most people try to box me in, like they tried to box Joe in. And no, some people love life. They're not you. Some people actually love a lot about life and, explore it in many different ways and enjoy it. Now, as I'm watching this, it just blew my mind because I'm like, if this guy could figure this out and you kind of knew a little bit about it, then how come these vegan people that, I've seen vegan people punch people in the face online and in protest and do all these demonstrations of you're killing the animals, how dare you? How dare you're a killer? You're a killer. Like, that's what they always do. That's the first thing they say to try to get you to not eat it. They're like, you're a killer. You're eating Bambi and a mommy. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, right? So I used to always let that get to me sometimes. I'm like, yeah, see, yeah, we shouldn't eat, you know, certain things, because that's another thing. We gotta put them down and stuff. So this guy says, literally, I quote, if you want to be a more efficient, he said, what did he say? He said, if you want to kill more living things, just become a vegan. And right there, that blew my mind. You gotta remember, this is 1 minute. And he says, yeah, you didn't know that to make that tofu or whatever, some main thing that majority of vegans eat, he said, yeah, you didn't know? You gotta grow that stuff, the beans and the tofu beans and the whatever. He said, but in order to grow that though, all these other animals eat that while it's growing. Snakes, these little rats, chipmunk things, and these insects, and then there was some birds he named, and he named so many little furry, beautiful animals that people that eat meat, we don't eat those things. And they're complaining about us. You're eating a cow. You're eating a steak. You kill everything that's around to make your tofu. This guy described it, and I said, yeah, that is how farming goes. You can't let that wildlife eat your shit. He said, tofu farmers and whatever, he said the first thing they're gonna go in and do is, you know, old school. I'm gonna bludgeon these things, cause you know you don't want to get the chemicals and stuff. You want to see if you can just take them out yourself, trap them, get the traps, the easy, save that money, baby. So they're gonna be, you know, falling into traps, breaking their necks, breaking arms, and you know, doing whatever they want, throwing them to the wayside. And you're complaining about a chicken. And then he said, all farmers know that's not going to work when you have so many different wildlife and, you know, snakes and different things that eat these things. He said, well, once that doesn't work, well, that's when you go to crop dusting and get the poisons out. And that's going to kill every mammal that is in that vicinity of crops. It's going to level everything. And then also, because it's poisons, all the bugs and stuff, they're going to get leveled too. So to make sound horns, to make your whack ass tofu. Hey, what's up, Nino? How you doing, baby? How you doing? Sound horns. Anyway, so just to make some tofu in one area, you're slaughtering hundreds, maybe thousands of lives. Cause you know when you get to the bugs and stuff, that's a lot. As soon as you go to bugs, that's thousands. They are, whew, it's a lot. And then all the little furry squirrels and the raccoons and the, I said, yo, I seen them in protest throwing pig's blood on people. I've seen these guys screaming in people's faces, like women and stuff. They'll be talking to the teenagers in high school or the campuses and you're a killer. Like, I've seen people do the most outrageous things. Maybe it's fake, some of them, you know what I mean? But we all know once you get past 20 videos, one of them's gotta be real. I got 800. So it's just like, that blew my mind. I was like, yo, We got people out here talking about fighting for the rights of the animals and the this and that. But then at the same time, they're literally a reason why other animals are dying. But their whole MO is don't kill the animals. You know what I mean? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like, that shit blew my mind.
Good night.
How you doing? Pretty good. Another day. And it's like, I don't get it. Sound the horns. I really don't get it. I usually say that and then be like, nah, I do get it. But nah, I really, that's that, it's like you really damned if you do and you damned if you don't, bro. Like, if niggas go vegan, you still hurting something if you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. That's why I'm glad I believe in moderation. Basically, back in the day, everybody didn't need to eat so much because they had to face the wilderness and, you know, my father's fury. So you had to stay on your toes and shit. So, you know, even if a man was overweight, he was still in shape. You know what I'm saying? Still get, you know what I mean? Dudes was in, like, sound the horns. The world's changing. And every time I think I'm gonna go one way, and I'm like, all right, let's go try to go to this next level. And then I'm like, all right, we learned the Lord goes and shows me some shit. And I'm like, yo, bro, can you do anything in this fucking world and not offend the Lord? Because I'm still trying to figure something out. Like, I had to turn off the radio. I had to turn off the fucking TV. Now I try to eat certain food. And then it's just like... Alright. I'm going to share some information and break some shit down that I broke down for my first disciple, Danny. Remember, Danny, when I taught you this same lesson I'm teaching about how everything's connected and we all work for the bad guy at the end of the day. See, you morons think because you got a job, you're a good man. You think because you're somebody in the world because of your job, you're a good man and shit, right? But I forgot exactly how I broke it down. But I broke it down. I was like, yo, when you really look at any fucking job most people do, really think about what your job produces. What does it produce? Huh? Does it save life? Or does it add on to the filth? Perfect example, fast food. We all know fast food's bad. We all know it now. Studies have been in for over 20 years, more longer. We all know what's up. We all know that a lot of that shit's not even real food no more. If you work in a fast food place, you contribute to anyone that dies from it. Automatically, by default, you work there. Get it? It's like being a drug dealer and then they run down and they're like, we don't want just the kingpin, we want everybody. Everybody's gotta go. Get it? But it's a law that you can get away with that. You can sell that to people and get away with it. It's okay, because they said so. Your master said it's okay. And you said, well, it's their choice. Damn near no matter what job you do, in this reality right now, someone's suffering Someone's something. It's connected to some bullshit. It always goes up. So I don't mind that I sweep the floor. It's one job I couldn't seem to connect. I mean, we all work for, all the people. So, but my services don't. I clean up after people. I get to go home and feel good. Know that what I do actually does something good for the world, as small as it may be. What does your job make you do every day? How many people suffer because you work? I think that's why my brother Jesus, my father Emmanuel, said, "Give Caesar what's Caesar's, and go back to the Most High." I think that's why when the story ends, the good people leave everybody and leave the cities. I think that's why it ends that way. Maybe, among other reasons. But I think that could be one of them. Because I think good people are going to wake up like me one day and realize I contribute to the filth. And if I contribute to the filth, then I'm a part of it. But I want to be good. All love, all praise to my Father.